Last month on the Academy Awards, Barbra Streisand performed her iconic song, The Way We Were, which begins with the word memories. That got me thinking about how memory, especially that of the oceans, has a profound effect on weather and climate. Consider that it's now 2 weeks after the first day of spring, which means that today and September 8th, which is 2 weeks before the first day of autumn, are astronomically similar. On both days, the sun rises at the same place on the eastern horizon, follows the same path across the sky, and sets in the same place on the western horizon. In other words, April 3rd and September 8th are pretty much indistinguishable based solely on the sun's position in the sky. But meteorologically, the 2 days are vastly different. Here's the average high and low for today, April 3rd, for a few places, mostly 50s for highs and 30s for lows. Now here's the same numbers for its astronomical cousin, September 8th. It's a huge difference, with early September warmer by 20 to 25 degrees on average, both during the day and at night. And a big part of the reason for the difference is memory. In September, the northern hemisphere is coming out of the time of maximum heating, and the land, and especially the very slow cooling oceans, retain that energy well and share it with the air. The opposite is true in April, when the northern hemisphere is emerging from the time of lowest sun angle, and the memory of that reduced heating is imparted to the atmosphere. Then there's the difference between the memory of land and water. Here's a satellite image of the eastern Great Lakes in the middle of a late spring afternoon. The organization of the bubbly convective clouds is obvious. They formed over the land, but not over the water. This wider view from a different day is similar. The still cool water chills the low-level air above, inhibiting convective cloud development over the lakes. The opposite happens in late fall and early winter, when the Great Lakes, which at that time of year are much warmer than the surrounding land, become factories of lake effect clouds. Though some memory of winter certainly lingers in April, the sun angle is changing so much from day to day this month that the average daily temperature jumps 10 or 11 degrees from April 1st to April 30th everywhere in the state, as daylight lengthens by about 75 minutes, an average of 2.5 minutes per day. The midday sun was 54 degrees above the horizon on April 1st, but will be more than 64 degrees above the horizon by April 30th. By the end of the month, the shadow of a 10-foot tall tree at midday will be less than 5 feet long, whereas at the beginning of the month, that same tree's shadow was more than 7 feet long. Whether you're playing ball in the yard or planting new flowers or bushes around that tree, that's a change you'll really notice. Paul Knight has the extended forecast next. I think he will have some noticeable changes in our weather pattern too.